Hello fellow fans, I'm Fangirl Overlord Lucy and today we talk about Disney. We're diving down. That's right, we're talking about our Disney babies, the descendants of the big times, the children of our childhood. I think that we can all agree the first Descendants was beautiful, amazing, and so much more than we expected because I honestly thought it was going to be cringy and hurt my soul. Boy was I wrong. I for one fell in love with the characters. I've even got the books that are around the movies because I wanted some more character depth. But we're not here to talk about how much I love the first Descendants. We're here to talk about the first Descendants and the second and how they compare and which, in my personal opinion, is better. Feel free to fight me on it in the comments because I'm gonna say I actually prefer the original. My tiara is not straight, and here is why. First of all, what did they do to my baby Carlos? I loved his island design. But now, ladies and gentlemen, he looks like a prince. His hair, okay, I know a lot of you think he looks so much hotter in Descendants 2 and I liked it when he was a cute, spiky haired little misfit. That is why I loved him. I really loved his original design. It suited him so much. But I can move on from it. The next thing I have an issue with is Jane and Carlos. Not as a ship, guys. Some of the fanfics are absolutely gorgeous. They are beautiful. I have an issue with how they got together in the Disney universe. Jane and Carlos don't have a lot of screen time with each other in either of the movies. In the first one, it felt like they barely knew each other and girl, in the first one it felt like they barely knew each other. In the second one, they suddenly just had a thing for each other, and that threw me off. I was confuzzled. If you're gonna put Jane and Carlos together, give them some screen time together. They barely had much screen time together in the first or the second, and then they suddenly had a thing for each other, and that's where I have the issue, because while Jane is easily manipulated, as we have all witnessed, and quite timid, Carlos is a sweet, innocent little bean who doesn't seem like the kind of guy who just rushes into a relationship out of nowhere, except they did. Yes, they did. They suddenly had a thing for each other out of nowhere, and while flattery can get a boy very far, I was just expecting so much more. So much more. I love Carlos, he's my favorite character, and while I am more of a J-Loss than a Jar-Loss shipper, I'm being honest with you here, I didn't have a problem with him getting with either. I just wanted that to be done right. It felt like they put Jane and Carlos together because everybody else had somebody already, and they were just trying to finish their little love spiral. Moving on from Carlos, because I've talked about him for way too long, but as I've said, he is my favorite character. I mean, Carlos. Guys, come on. I've never cringed at Ben so hard in my entire life as I did in the second movie. Ben, you're a cinnamon roll, and Chillin' Like a Villain, while it was an okay song, you can't, honey. You're not a villain. You can't villain. You are a cinnamon roll. You can't change who you are, Ben. You can't change who you are. I will give you one thing though, Descendants 2 did have some amazing soundtracks. I feel like we all love Space Between. Plus it was an amazing break from all the relationship drama we were having with Mal and Ben and Ben and Uma and Uma and Mal. And you know this like little love triangle we had just screaming at each other? Except it was more like Ben's trying to be a nice guy, Mal is being a little jealous, Ben's overdoing the niceness to everyone. It was a mess. I don't need to talk about it anymore. Mal and Ben fought enough. You don't need me recapping on it. We remember it. We remember it. Hey, I liked it. Chad is a dick. Let's move on. The whole cookie fiasco in the first movie gave so much light to who Ben was, and there was like, I don't know, you really got inside his head there, because as we remember, when he went to it's like an enchanted lake waterfall thing, right? And the spell wore off, his first response is to ask her pretty much, do you love me? It was like a genuine question. He was still nice to her. And then we get to the cupcake scene and he's just like, I wasn't faking anything. I'm pretty sure we all melted into 1,000 tiny pieces. Okay. Now that I've trashed all over Descendants 2, one of my favorite movies alongside Descendants 1, let's face it, every movie I've seen is one of my favorite movies. I am so obsessive. Let's talk about what Descendants 2 actually got right. There were a lot of great moments. I'm not sure how I felt about dudes starting to talk, but it was certainly interesting. How often does man's best friend tell a man to man up?
Man, that thing was
I pretty much adore any scene that has Harry in it. I mean, best pirate in the universe, don't argue with me. I mean, when I was being heartbroken over Carlos's haircut and how none of my boys looked like bad boys anymore, Harry brought it all back and he did it better. I loved him. He was like the best new character. Argue with me with all you like. I've always had a thing for the villains, the bad guys, the bad boys. Now I'm just kidding. You know I love cinnamon rolls. You know I go for the cinnamon rolls. But villains, they are so good in shows and books. And will this tiara just stay on my head? Let's move on. The issue Descendants 2 and me have with each other is that we just make each other really mad. I have difficulty pointing out what's good with it, besides the fact that Ben is gorgeous and the characters are amazing and we all love Harry. And Descendants 2 has issues with not making me really angry. Like, real mad, guys. Call me triggered as my sister would, but I was upset. Mal and Ben fighting all the time was killing me. Carlos's haircut was killing me. The lack of Jay being important was killing me. Like, where was he? Okay, we know where he was, but why wasn't he more? I love Jay. Like I've said, I love Jay and Carlos, and I needed them to be important. And it felt like they weren't. Not this time, booze. You know what else killed me? The Uma and Ben fiasco. The Uma and Ben fiasco. Oh my God. How many times is Ben gonna have different love spells put on him, to be honest? At least we had our whole, like, true love moment thing, I guess. I mean, that is so Disney. That is so Disney. I don't know. I just prefer the original. I just can't words. But the second is just as great in its own many charming ways. Nothing will ever be as iconic as the Ben and his tiny crown shorts. Well, little crowns for me though, because are those little crowns on your shorts? Maybe. I did try to find the clip to insert it for you guys, but I could not find it anywhere. Spent hours. Literally, this video has been in the making for 2 to 3 days, and I have still not found that little clip. Well, that's all I've got for you today, Today is a gay day. No, that's all I've got for you guys today. Love ya. See ya. Bye. Mwah.